That is the use of these WNBA referees, pretty much altering games, changing the outcome 0-06 of games, and something has to be done in regards to that matter. 0-10. The WNBA referees has definitely been playing a major role in who's winning games, and 0-17. Who's losing games. 0-18. Did you see what just happened in the WNBA? 0-20. A referee was caught on camera targeting Caitlin Clark. 0-23. This isn't just some small mistake. We were talking about a full-blown scandal that's 0-27, shaking up the entire league. 0-29. You might be thinking, wait, how bad could it really be? 0-32. Well, let me tell you, it's worse than you can imagine. 0-34. We got the footage that proves Clark is being singled out, and it's so blatant. 0-38. You'll be yelling at your screen. 0-39, but here's where it gets really interesting. 0-41. The WNBA's response to this bombshell revelation is going to shock you. 0-46. You know that feeling when something's not quite right? 0-49. When you're watching a game and you just can't shake the sense that something's 0-52 off? 0-52. Well, Caitlin Clark's been living that feeling all season long. 0-55. It's like she's playing with a target on her back, and the refs are pretending not. 0-59 to see it. 1 o'clock. She got landing zone fouls at least 5 times that weren't called. 1:04. She got the Kennedy Carter one that was called a normal foul on the day. 1:09. The eye poke. Even if you believe it wasn't intentional, it's still a flagrant one. 1:15. The Alyssa Thomas shoulder barrage to the face, like there were a lot of blatant flaggers. 1:23. That weren't called. 1:24. Let's talk about Clark's special whistle, and trust me, it's not the kind you want. 1:28. It's the kind that stays silent when it should be blowing. 1:31. The kind that lets opponents get away with murder, while Clark's left wondering what. 1:35. She did wrong. 1:36. It's the kind of whistle that's got fans scratching their heads and shouting at their 1:39 screens. 1:40. Lads, we watched the WNBA season this year, and we know that Caitlin Clark's whistle 1:46 was a strange one. 1:47. We know that she had a very, very strange whistle, and we know that the reality of the situation 1:53 is that she got flagrantly fouled 5 or 6 times throughout the year. 1:58. It should have been 10. 2 o'clock. Remember that game against Chicago? 2:02. Clark drives to the basket, determined and focused. 2:05. She's got that look in her eye, the one that says she's about to make something happen. 2:08. And then, bam, she's on the floor, knocked down hard. 2:12. Seattle, and all of a sudden, we're pretty close. 2:15. This has been as close as it's been all second quarter long, 44-2. 2:20. The crowd gasps, expecting a whistle, but guess what? 2:28. No call. 2:29. Nothing. 2:29. Nada. 2:30. It's like the refs suddenly went blind, or forgot how to use their whistles. 2:34. But here's where it gets crazy. 2:36. The same thing happens in the NBA, and suddenly it's a whole different story. 2:40. We're talking flags flying, whistles blowing, maybe even a player or 2 getting ejected. 2:45. It's like night and day, and it's got everyone asking, what's the deal with this? 2:49. Double standard. 2:50. But now is a funny one because we're now seeing the same WNBA media that were happy. 2:58. Well, I'm not going to say happy, but we're like, oh, these are normal fouls. 3:02. This is just normal basketball. 3:04. Now, when it happens in the NBA, making it a bigger deal. 3:07. And this is where the problem is that it was one rule for Caitlin and one rule for 3:11 everybody else. 3:12. We're going to break down exactly what happened in both leagues, and you won't believe the 3:17 difference. 3:17. In the NBA, players are protected. 3:21. Hard fouls are called out. Dangerous plays are shut down fast. 3:25. But in the WNBA, it's like they're playing by a whole different rule.